Every time a new station tool comes out, I think I have to wear this shirt because I put it on in the morning not knowing I was going to do this video, but I think I'm pretty sure I wore this last station video too. I'm super excited about this. I've had a couple questions already. The mini station and tools are now available, which is super exciting, and I'm going to be talking about kind of giving it a review in today's video. I don't do tons of reviews on my channel. I might get more into it and really share a more in-depth look at the products. Looking at past reviews that I've done, I wanted to make it very clear that these are all my own opinions. In the past, I only did reviews on products that I thought super highly of, so of course I was always giving them top reviews. However, from now on out, I'm going to be giving you my full thoughts and opinions on every product. I won't be bashing any products, but if I think that there are some things that maybe they could improve on it or some reasons why I might not purchase that product, and of course I'll let you guys know that because I think that is super important. And even if I do find a product that I absolutely love, sometimes there still are cons to it, and just weighing out those pros and cons are kind of up to you when you want to purchase the product. So I think it's super important. And so in today's video, we're taking a look at the new mini Wendy Vecchi make art station and comparing it to the larger one. I've already had several questions on, what might it be used for? Or do I need both? Or which one should I buy? And so I'll be answering some of those questions in today's video. Alright, so here is the new mini make art station. This one is 7 by 7 inches in comparison to the 12 by 12 inch station. So here it is, kind of side by side. You can see that it's a lot smaller. Those magnets are nice and strong. You can see that this one has a little bit of a more glossier coating on it, which I do like. I like that they did that. I know when they first released the station, they were having some problems with the grid lines wiping off if you were being a little bit too rough with your station. So now I like that they have that coating. I think it's going to protect those lines a little bit more, hopefully, and keep it a little bit nicer. I haven't had any problems with mine, but I know some people did have problems with theirs. I want to stress as well, because I want to get this out of the way too, a station isn't meant to throw a bunch of paints and things like that at. They do now have craft sheets that you can attach to your station with the magnets, and then you can make it a little bit more of a messier work surface that you can kind of pick up and move around. But I've really been using it just for my water-based dye inks and to hold things down with the magnets if it's adhesive, and I'll kind of share that in today's video. If you guys want to check out my original station video, which really goes super in-depth on what you could do with it, be sure to click the link right up here, and then it'll lead you right over to that video. Alright, so besides that little coating on top of here, I don't think much has changed from the larger station to this new mini station. And I like that they did that. They really kept the integrity of the tool. The magnets are just as large, so they're going to be just as strong when they stick down to the station, and they still included this little ruler as well with it, which I like. It's that little centering ruler, so it's going to help you line things up, which is really cool. Now, another thing I wanted to mention though too is if you set your tool down, I don't think it's going to have much of a glare. Here is my surface and there's no glare on top of it as well. So even with that little extra coating, if you do create videos, which I know a lot of you guys do, an issue that might have been in the past with like the glass mats and things like that is the glare, and so this is not going to have that even with that little bit of a coating. If I tilt it, you'll see a little bit of a glare, but if I just set it straight down, there's no glare on the surface, which is awesome. Now, one of the biggest questions that I wanted to cover in today's video, because I've already been asked it several times in the comments, and I want to just clear this up. Do you need the mini station if you have the larger station, or would you recommend the larger station over the mini station? I've gotten those questions quite a bit. And it really depends on how much money you want to spend, if you have a large work surface, and if you travel a lot. So of course the mini make art station is going to be great for traveling. So if you like to go on the go and you want something that's going to be easy to pack, you love the station but you want to be able to take it on the go, this is going to be a really easy thing to put inside of a small bag. It's nice and compact, and then you have room for other craft supplies. And this is the perfect size for card making and things like that. So you're going to be good to go with card making. Now, as far as should you buy this over this in your work surface, and it really depends on you as a creator. I think personally for my work surface, I would rather have the larger one in there and be working on that just because it is a little bit bigger of a surface and I like that. I have a nice large desk in here though too, so if you don't have a lot of space, maybe this is the way to go. Also, price point is a good thing to bring up as well. This one I think is about $15, and then you can get it for about $10 at scrapbook.com. They usually have pretty good deals, and then this one is $20. So either way, you're not going to break the bank. Even if you wanted both of them, I don't think it's going to really break the bank. You're really investing in a pretty great price tool, and it's going to last you for a long time. I've gotten lots of use out of these. Now, one thing that I already have found super useful for the mini Make Art Station is, let's say I'm gluing something down, I'll take one of my dude's die cuts, and I'm going to glue it to a piece of my stark white cardstock. So I'm going to glue the center down so his arms and legs can kind of pop up off the card. So I'll glue that down there. And now if I want this to stick without having to hold it down, sometimes there are some difficult things that have to stay down. If you glue them with liquid adhesive, a really great idea is just to set a magnet on that. And this is why I love the mini. It is so lightweight, so small. I can set this off on the side of my desk and not have to waste a ton of surface space, you know, with a large station taking up the rest of the room. I think for me, I'll mostly be using this one for gluing and things like that. This happens more than you would think, and I do this all the time. So having a little tiny board to set off to the side is really great. I've also seen people using this to watercolor backgrounds on and hold down the four corners with the magnets, and then you'll have a nice background that isn't warped as well, and it's easy to set off to the side. So I'm going to use this thing for more moving things, and this one I'm going to stick for stenciling. So it depends on what you want. You could of course use either one for either thing. One of the things I'm super happy about is that Wendy released this tool last year. However, she continues to come out with new tools and accessories for it, which I think is really awesome. She didn't just sell you a tool and say bye-bye, you know, not coming up with anything new for it. She really is making it super versatile and thinking of lots of new things you can add to it, so it makes it even more useful for all of you guys, which is really great. So if you guys have bought one of the stations, you know that in the box come these little rulers. They're almost like little thin fridge magnets. It's a great inclusion in the box because it really does help to line things up. However, they're not super sturdy, right? So I wouldn't expect anything more. It was a great price tool. They're not going to spend all the money on just the magnetic ruler. But I love that now they have released these magnetic rulers that are made out of acrylic. Again, these are the centering rulers, so you're still going to have those great lines on them. So let's put this against a piece of white cardstock. If I needed to line something up, this is going to be really awesome for me. Much stronger magnets that hold it down, which I think is really great when it comes to the ruler. I know Wendy was talking about too, since they're thicker, you can line stamps up on them easier, and with the other one, the stamps would like jump over top. With this one, it's going to line them up perfectly since it's a little bit thicker. So I think them including these rulers is really awesome. If you guys were big users of the other little flimsier rulers, these are going to be really great for you since they are super strong and very durable, which I love. And I like that they're clear too, so you can kind of see through your project if you're lining something up in here, which is really great. So those are the two rulers, of course, one for the small and one for the large one. Now the last thing is Wendy's new stamp positioner tool. So in one pack came kind of the stamp positioner and the acrylic guide, and then in one pack you can buy an acrylic block to go kind of along with it. So I'm going to share how this works. This one made me most excited about the whole release. I was like, Wendy, you are a genius. So this one is super awesome and probably something that I'm going to be really excited about as well. So it comes with this little square ruler. Now this is not something new, right? It's just a reinvention of something that's already been on the market, which I really admire that they've done, because what was already on the market I couldn't really get behind because it was this, but without a magnet. And the point is for this not to move, and so it's a little bit difficult having to hold it down, make sure it stays in place, not moving, and so having this is really nice. Okay, so what I think this stamp positioner is going to be great for is rubber stamps. So if you guys are rubber stampers, this is going to be an awesome alternative for you. And also, if you don't want to spend a ton of money on a Misty stamping tool, maybe this is something you want to look into. So I'm going to grab my stamp. Now I put it on my acrylic block here, but there's really no way to tell how this stamp is going to stamp exactly straight. It is stamped with Stamper's Anonymous logo on the back, but it doesn't have the design stamped, and so seeing through the rubber is a little bit difficult. So I'm going to show you kind of how to make sure that it's straight using the stamp positioner. So this is going to be great for sentiments or making sure that, you know, your bird is going to land on your tree properly. So this is how you're going to do it. I'm first going to start off by just placing my stamp positioner anywhere really on the Make Art station, and then I'm going to place in this acrylic guide here. And then I'm going to grab my jet black archival ink or whatever ink you guys are stamping with. So you're going to ink up your stamp, and then all you're going to do is line up this top corner of the acrylic block along with the corner of your stamp positioning tool. So you're just going to make sure it lines up and then press it down to get that stamped impression. And this image isn't going to really matter, right? So it's going to be this acrylic. You don't want to touch your hands all over it because it's not going to dry permanently immediately on there. So then what you're going to do is grab your cardstock. I'm using some stark white cardstock, and I want to make sure this gets exactly centered on my card. So let's make sure it gets nice and centered there. And I want to make sure it's nice and straight. So by doing this, you can see I would have stamped that definitely crooked. Now what you're going to do is just lay that stamp positioning tool right in that corner of your acrylic grid there. Then pull this out. Then you're going to ink up your stamp one more time. And then again, I'm going corner to corner, and it's going to line up in that exact same spot that your acrylic guide was. And there we go, we have our stamped image, which I just love how that works. So of course, if you are at like the last step of your card and you want to make sure that it lines up exactly perfectly straight on your card, this is a good way to go. Try using the stamp positioning tool. I'm gonna love this thing for sentiments as well, because even in the MISTI, it's a little bit difficult to line things up exactly perfect, but having this to kind of line it up on your card is going to be super helpful. And then all you need to do is just go in and wipe this off there. However, if you leave it on there for longer, be sure to use some archival ink cleaner, because archival is going to dry on this after a little while. So be sure to use some cleaner if it has stained and dried on there after some time. I'm gonna be so honest, this is probably what made me so excited about the whole release. I didn't really understand other companies coming out with this stamping tool, because in the past you've had to just hold it onto your surface as you're inking up your stamp, as you're getting things, as you're moving stuff around. You know, you never know if it's actually going to stay there. So having these magnets on here is super exciting. I think if you're big into stamping, this is definitely something you're going to need along with your station. Alright guys, so there is an overview at the new mini Make Art Station and some of the awesome tools that released along with it. I hope this video helped you out. Even though I'm not going to make decisions for you, I'll let you guys know my opinions and things like that. And I hope that this did help you out to make some informed decisions and whether or not you're going to buy some of the new items from this awesome release. I'll have links down below to all the items that I shared in today's video in case if you guys are interested in any of them, you can go shopping down there. And also I'll leave a link down there to the first Make Art Station that I did that goes super in depth on everything you could do with it. It really is an awesome tool that adds tons of versatility, and it's not going to break the bank, which I like that. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a big thumbs up. Be sure to hit that subscribe button down below to never miss another card making and crafting video like this one. And also leave me a comment down below on what your favorite use of the station is, if you have one or if you're thinking of purchasing one. I love to chat with you guys down there. I'll see you guys very, very soon for another card making and crafting video. Have a great day. Bye!